Imagine, just for a moment, an explosion that flattened 2,000 square kilometers of Siberian forest, knocking over about 80 million trees and yet left no impact crater. Brace yourself, because we're venturing into the icy heart of Siberia to unwrap the story of the Tunguska explosion. The date was June 30th, 1908. Witnesses more than 60 kilometers away reported seeing a bluish light nearly as bright as the sun. They felt the heat of a fire in the sky, and what followed was a massive shockwave that knocked people off their feet and shattered windows miles away. Even though this was the largest explosion ever recorded on Earth's surface, equivalent to the energy of 10, 15 megatons of TNT, there wasn't a single direct casualty. So what could have caused such an unprecedented blast? The obvious suspect would be a meteor, right? Well, here's where things get mysterious. When expeditions were finally mounted to the remote site in the 1920s, they expected to find a massive impact crater, but instead, they discovered a radial pattern of fallen trees, all pointing away from the explosion's epicenter, but no impact site. So where's the meteor? The energy from the explosion was about 1,000 times that of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, and it happened in a remote area of Siberia, which is why the event went largely unnoticed by the global community for years. The predominant theory is that an asteroid or comet entered Earth's atmosphere traveling at a speed of 27 kilometers per second. As it met the increasing resistance of our atmosphere, it exploded in an airburst approximately 5–10 kilometers above the surface, creating the shockwave but leaving no solid evidence behind. Of course, over the years, a myriad of alternate hypotheses has emerged, ranging from the scientifically plausible like mini black holes and antimatter to the fringe, think alien spacecraft or interdimensional phenomena. Books. They've always been our windows to far-off lands, vast knowledge, and occasionally utter perplexity. Have you ever stumbled upon a book so confounding that neither the world's best cryptographers nor linguists can decipher it? Welcome to the world of the Voynich manuscript. Imagine a book filled with botanical drawings of plants that don't exist, astronomical diagrams that don't match known constellations, and numerous illustrations of tiny naked women frolicking in interconnected pools of water. This isn't some fantasy artist's sketchbook, but rather the contents of the Voynich manuscript, a baffling codex that dates back to the early 15th century. So, what makes it so intriguing? Well, it's text. It's written in an unknown script, undecipherable to date. Over the years, the manuscript has been a challenge for professional and amateur cryptographers alike, including those who had broken codes during both World Wars. The book's name comes from Wilfred Voynich, a Polish book dealer who purchased it in 1912. However, its origins remain shrouded in mystery. Numerous hypotheses have tried to unravel its secrets. Some believe it's a hoax, a cleverly crafted nonsense script designed to baffle and intrigue. Others argue that it's a lost language or a coded text hiding a message, possibly related to alchemy, medieval medicine, or arcane knowledge. Radiocarbon dating places the manuscript in the 15th century, further muddling theories of modern forgery. Signals. Every day we're surrounded by them, from our smartphones beeping with notifications to the radio waves playing our favorite tunes. But what about a signal from somewhere else? Diving deep into one of the most intriguing signals ever detected. Let's talk about the aptly named WOW signal. Back in 1977, amidst the myriad radio waves captured by the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University, there was one that stood out. For 72 seconds, this telescope detected a strong and unusual signal coming from the Sagittarius constellation. When Dr. Jerry R. Amon, the astronomer on duty, noticed this anomaly, he was so astonished that he circled it in red and wrote the word WOW beside it. Interestingly, the alphanumeric sequence 6EQ2J5 represents the intensity variation of the signal. It's not some mysterious alien code, but a data representation. The signal's uniqueness lies in its frequency. It was very close to the frequency of hydrogen, 1420 MHz, which many experts consider the most likely frequency an extraterrestrial civilization might use if they were trying to communicate across the vast expanse of the universe. After all, hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, making it a universal marker. So was this our first contact? As tantalizing as the idea is, no subsequent detections of the signal were made, despite numerous attempts. The origins of the "wow" signal remain one of the biggest mysteries in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. A genuine transmission from an extraterrestrial civilization? We just don't know. The "wow" signal serves as a humbling reminder of our place in the vast universe. In its silence and brevity, it challenges us, piquing our curiosity and deepening our yearning to understand the cosmos and our place within it. Maybe, just maybe, someone out there was saying hello. Or perhaps it's a whisper from the universe itself, reminding us always to listen. It's one of the most mysterious aviation puzzles of the 21st century. Fasten your seatbelts, because we're about to navigate the baffling story of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. Departing Kuala Lumpur for Beijing on March 8, 2014, with 239 passengers and crew on board, MH370 communicated its last words, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Following this, it veered off its planned route and seemingly disappeared from the radar. Despite the massive international search efforts primarily focused on the vast expanse of the southern Indian Ocean, only a few confirmed pieces of the aircraft have washed ashore. What makes this disappearance so puzzling? Well, for starters, how can a Boeing 777, a colossal piece of modern engineering, just vanish in today's age of advanced satellite and tracking technologies? And why did it deviate from its path? Flight MH370 isn't the first aircraft mystery. Remember the tales of the Bermuda Triangle, but the sophistication of modern technology should, in theory, make such disappearances less likely. There are theories, of course, from potential hijackings or pilot suicides to catastrophic mechanical failures. Some speculate about a fire on board, perhaps from the lithium-ion batteries in the cargo that might have incapacitated the crew and left the plane on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. Others point to deliberate actions given the aircraft's strange deviations and altitude changes. Despite the theories, there's a painful void of concrete evidence. Satellite handshakes. Signals the aircraft automatically sent to a satellite ground station suggest the plane ended in the southern Indian Ocean. Yet extensive underwater searches have yielded almost nothing, deepening the mystery. As time progresses, the memories of Flight MH370 may fade for some, but for the families of those on board, the need for closure remains. This aviation mystery underscores the fact that, even in our modern age, not all mysteries have clear answers, and sometimes the questions they raise are just as haunting as the event itself. Have you ever pondered what it would feel like to come across a ship, fully intact, its cargo untouched and yet eerily deserted? It's time to dive deep into the chilling tale of the Mary Celeste, the maritime mystery that has confounded and intrigued for almost 150 years. In November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York, headed for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs, his wife, their 2-year-old daughter, and a crew of 7. The ship's cargo was 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, a routine shipment for the times. But on December 5, 1872, a British ship, the DEI Gracia, spotted the Mary Celeste adrift in the Atlantic, roughly halfway between the Azores and Portugal. When they boarded the ship, the sight was nothing short of perplexing. There was not a soul on board. The ship was in a seaworthy condition, its cargo mostly intact. There were 6 months' worth of food and water supplies, but the ship's papers, the navigational equipment, and the crew's personal belongings all vanished, except for the captain's chronometer and sextant. Now the lifeboat was missing, hinting that the crew might have tried to abandon ship. But why? The weather wasn't particularly harsh, and the Mary Celeste had endured far worse conditions. What could have caused the crew to leave in such a hurry, leaving behind a vessel that was perfectly navigable? Some say it might have been an alcohol explosion. Those barrels of industrial alcohol could have leaked, producing fumes. A small explosion without fire might have panicked the crew into abandoning ship, fearing a larger imminent explosion. Another theory posits a waterspout, a tornado at sea, might have doused the ship, making it appear like it was sinking. There are wilder theories too, pirate attacks, mutiny, even alien abductions, but none of them quite fit. The crew of the DEI Gracia even received a salvage reward, as no evidence of foul play was found. To this day, the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew remains one of the sea's most enduring and eerie mysteries. Imagine for a moment being caught in a dance so uncontrollable, so powerful that no amount of willpower could help you stop. Well, such phenomenon isn't just the stuff of fiction, it happened. Welcome to Strasbourg, 1518. The city was thriving, set along the Rhine in the Holy Roman Empire, but in July of that year, a woman named Frau Troffia began to dance. Nothing unusual at first glance, perhaps a moment of joy or a peculiar fit, but she didn't stop. Hours turned into days. She seemed trapped in her rhythm with no music guiding her steps. But here's where it becomes even more bizarre. Within a week, 34 others had joined her dancing as if possessed, and by the end of the month, the dancing contagion had spread to around 400 people. The city authorities, clueless and increasingly concerned, even went as far as opening halls and stages, hiring musicians to play, thinking the dancers needed to finish their dance. But instead, it exacerbated the situation. Historical records describe heartbreaking scenes, dancers with broken ribs, with feet bloodied yet still moving. And many didn't survive. Heart attacks, strokes, and sheer exhaustion claimed their lives. Historians and scientists have puzzled over this for centuries. Some theories suggest it was ergotism, a condition caused by consuming fungi-contaminated rye, leading to hallucinations and painful seizures. Others believe it might have been encephalitis, which inflames the brain, causing muscle twitches. Then there's the psychological angle. Perhaps it was mass hysteria, a collective manifestation of stress or anxiety. Strasbourg was, after all, reeling from famine and disease at the time. Maybe this dance was an escape, a manifestation of pent-up despair. But no single theory offers a complete answer. The dancing plague of 1518 remains an unsettling reminder of the mysteries of the human mind and body, and the thin line between joy and despair, rhythm and chaos. And as always, thanks for watching our video today.